I see the value in Bitcoin, and I see the value in the XRP. I see a value in, Hedera and all of these other technologies that are up and coming, that are trying to make a difference, and the goal is interoperability. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think where people get off track with it is that when they think that Bitcoin is going to be, go away, and XRP is going to be the one that's going to win, or vice versa, where a Bitcoin maximalist person is just, that's the banker's coin or whatever. The long and short of it, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, Bitcoin most likely was created by some of those higher up technologists that worked for the government of sorts. The group of them who they say there's four. Who knows how many? If there's one, there's four. It doesn't really matter. They used old technology that the government has been using for a long time, with your SHA-256 and the other stuff to create the blockchain, the algorithms, right? So I don't think it's just this guy who came out of nowhere, one lone Japanese fella that created, Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto. There's definitely more to the story. But even that, the fact is that because it's open source, it's decentralized, and people are building on it, working on it, improving upon it. In fact, the people at Ripple that developed the XRP, they worked on Bitcoin. And they tried to think of different real world issues, of problems that they could solve. And so it's been hugely inspirational to the population, for people like me, to really start looking into what is money. I never really looked into this as deeply until I came across Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was my entry into this whole world.
Yes.
And yes, it's the old guy in the room, but it's not going anywhere, in my opinion. And the fact that it does take so much energy, it's pushing people to create ways that they can use, wasted energy. How can we make things more efficient? And so I think that's a good thing. And I think in the long run, um, we're going to see some pretty extraordinary things when it comes to electricity, you know.
Oh,
So
I think so too. If you don't mind, I'd like to add color in the lines a little bit about the history of Bitcoin.
no, I think we got Simon in here.
Hey, Mr. Simon. Hey,
I think it
is that
is.
Simon Sez
It is
Crypto?
Mr. Simon Sez Crypto.
Hey, Mr. Simon Sez Crypto. Good to see you here. So,
Raise your hand, buddy, if you want to talk.
yeah. So we on Tokens Radio Show, we did some research a few weeks ago, and what we have added to our conversation about the origins of Bitcoin, that basically it started well back into the 70s, and it started through the discovery of cryptography, and then it had evolved into the advent of the internet. And there were many technologists, cryptographists, if I'm saying that, cryptographer. Okay. Um,
Cryptographist.
yes. If yes. Who technologists, let's call it this way,
Yes.
specializing in cryptography. They have tried to make a digital coin for years. And you know why they failed? Because they were all centralized. Each and every one of them was centralized. And you're right that it was a culmination of technologies that were available, maybe no longer used by the military. Some all still use, like SHA-256 is still a military grade application. GPS, TCP, IP, all of those applications, those technologies are all wrapped into Bitcoin. And even if that was centralized, it probably would have failed.
Yeah.
The reason why it was the only thing that was different is that it was decentralized and it was able to run on its own. It was never no ICO, an initial coin offering, or anything like that. Every one of the previous tries failed because they had a centralized component.
Yep.
Isn't that cool? I love that story.
Hey, Simon, I sent you an invite to speak. Did you get it?
Yes.
There you are.
Greetings. Hey, Simon.
Simon
Hello, ladies.
Says, how are you?
Hello.
I'm doing well. I saw both you on Spaces here, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen those ladies in a while. I wonder what they're listening to.
Yeah.
Well, they're talking. I love it.
This is our first time trying to do our show live while hosting a space. So
perfect. Okay, sounds wonderful. You guys are doing an awesome job. Well done.
We're trying.
Thank you.
We'll see how the recording goes when this is all over. Yeah. Do you have any 2 cents to add to the party?
Well, I was listening to Christy there share the origins of Bitcoin and how far it goes back, and I think that's amazing. And I say amazing because earlier today, I had forgotten this, but the coin XRP did not start in 2008. It was more like 2004
2004.
or earlier.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, 2004. And I had forgotten about that. So, when I think back to my earliest exposure to the crypto space, which was Bitcoin, and it was back in 2009, I forget that these things started way before they came to the public. Yep, and succeeded and stood the test of time. As Christy was pointing out just moments ago, they're all centralized. It's like, yep, that's how they fail when there's only one or two captains driving the boat.
Yeah,
doesn't work for the rest of the world.
That's right. I don't know how the Fed slipped through all of that, but yes, it's not appreciated the next time around.
They want to keep control of the ship too, don't they?
They do. They want to keep their view. I'll leave it nicely like that. Their view and direction where they want to go and what they want to see take place locally, nationally, globally. And I would say right now in this time, there's always been that public, we've had enough of this, we've had enough of that. But I think technology has really helped us connect globally via internet. And now our voices are not only heard, but our actions can be taken simultaneously to not really mutiny, but we're doing that in a different way. We're like, you know what? We're going to build our own ship on this ship, and then we're just going to go somewhere else.
Yep. Right.
Whether you like it or not, and that's what's taking place. And I think it's wonderful.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible that we're living during this time. Like I'm super excited that I even started paying attention to this several years ago. And I mean, I've come a long way for sure. I'm by no means an expert, but I definitely have many more hours than a lot of folks that I know. And so, I know better than to put all my eggs in one basket and that sort of thing. But I'm super excited for the future. And like you said, Simon, the fact that we're able to communicate so freely and to move money around like we do information, like we do an email, right? You can send an email to somebody and boom, they've got it. You can send somebody XRP, Bitcoin, many other tokens or coins instantaneously. And that is just amazing without a middleman. Now, I've been paying attention to the regulation. I listened to the hearings, and in the big push, and Christy and I were talking about this, that we were going to kind of touch on this subject, with what's kind of going on in the world, and the history of money, and how, with every fall of one form of money, there always seems to be a war that happens, like devastation, that comes along, just like we're seeing now. And damn it, does that make me mad? They
Hey,
build.
it's also part of the fourth turning. It says right in there, it ends in crisis, and crises are usually war.
But yeah, I just think about it all, and I'm just like, damn you people.
That's right.
That sacrifice, like you're willing to sacrifice human life, to play your little game that you've played with all of us. We've been lied to so much, and sorry, but I've been looking into so many things, and the more that I look into, the more I realize that I've been lied to, and I'm like, really, man? Like I've been on this kick of watching some shows where the guy's going over our history and buildings, right? And he went to Kansas City, he went to Detroit, he went to all these different places. I'll have to send it to you. But it's like, your reasonable mind, when you look at these buildings, does your reasonable mind really tell you that what they told you your history is truth? Like, what are the possibilities that this was built in 1871 or 1815 or whatever? Like during the greatest depression that we had, they were able to build these magnificent buildings with, just like ridiculousness of, I don't know. And we bought it. We buy it. We were just like, yo, tell me another lie, I'll listen to you. So
yeah. Well, I think it has to do with news sources. I mean, the Walter Cronkites of the world, right? They were trustworthy people, or were they? But that was our only source of really having that kind of information besides word of mouth. I mean, when broadcast television became available, I mean, that changed everything in many ways. We received communication and we took it wholeheartedly, as if, well, why would they lie to us? These people are out on the front lines. Exactly. Or are they really? But they're sending the story back to us. Whereas, on the nefarious side of things, the nefarious planners are saying, look, this technology that we have, look how we can control the masses. We can control the narrative. We can control the people by what we say. And it has evolved into this point right now. Is like, it's crazy. And if you haven't come to terms with this, I really don't know how to help you otherwise than to just say, get to know your neighbors really well, because when things go bad, you might need your neighbors who are awake.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to be nice about this, Simon, but yeah.
No. I heard a meme that I read a few memes. It was a few weeks ago, and I'm not really into memes, but I happened to be scrolling through a feed. Oh, and it was on X actually, and it went something like this: if you don't already have one, you're going to need a conspiracy theorist friend real soon to understand.
True.
I laughed at that because
it's true.